Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Hard Count. I'm Michael Emami, and I recently had a great conversation with Bradford High School's linebacker and athlete, Chason Clark. Clark is a member of the 2024 class and currently stands at 6 foot 2 inches and 175 pounds. Clark exhibits great potential as he has good speed and has great height for his class. Clark's vision and tenacity within his gameplay are evident and are very strong qualities. Clark and I discuss his development, his program, and more on this episode. All right, everyone, here is Chason Clark. Hope you guys enjoy this one. So obviously this is your freshman year, right? You're 2024, correct?
Yes, sir.
Outside linebacker and athlete, and you're also listed as a tight end on your huddle page too. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah. But I got you on here as a linebacker. But I wanted to ask you. So tell me a little bit about your program in Florida and how you've kind of developed within it to this point.
It's a growing program for sure. They're putting in a lot of effort trying to get us athletes known throughout the college community, because coaches is basically a community. But I've grown pretty good through it. I've gotten some respect throughout the players and all that throughout the coaches. Yeah, just like honestly, it's just a great program to be within. They all care for each of you. It's like it's a family, honestly.
Yeah. And so obviously, tell me a little about kind of your relationship with your head coach, kind of going off of that.
My head coach and me are really close. I love that man to death. He always has my back and I always have his. He puts a lot of effort into making us the best players that we can be.
Yeah, and I can see here you can adapt pretty well. Do they have you play a safety as well? They have you kind of move up and down the box a little bit in terms of what you do for defense, or you kind of more just in the safety or in the linebacker position? What do they kind of do with you in terms of what you kind of do with versatility and stuff like that?
They move me around a lot. They'll put me at nickel and sometimes the end. I played the end a lot at the beginning of the year, but I moved to mainly linebacker throughout the middle. But whenever they need a position, they usually just throw me in at it.
Yeah, you seem like a pretty big guy. I mean, for a freshman, you're 6 foot 2 inches and 175 pounds, so they can probably do a lot with you, I'd imagine. And I think they'd probably get college's attention too in terms of that. But have you heard from anybody to this point? Have you been in communication with any colleges to this point?
Some colleges, not anything big, just some small little like recruiting questionnaires, just the little things.
Yeah, and so kind of going off of that, what's kind of the first thing you'd want a college to know about you at this point in terms of from a personal standpoint and from an athletic standpoint?
I would put my effort as a big one, my ability to grow and learn, and my mindset of me not wanting to stay the same. I would just need to grow.
Okay, yeah, and so in terms of that, what's kind of a unique thing about you and your style of play that you'd think would be unique to you and kind of special to you?
I feel like I read really well, and am able to play around the field.
Okay, yeah, and we can see that there. Obviously, you have good adaptability too, which is also great. So tell me a little about kind of the relationship you have with your parents and how they've kind of influenced you.
My dad, he's who pushes me the most. He pushes me greatly. My dad was highly recruited throughout SEC schools. Auburn was his highest recruit, and then my grandfather, he pushes me just when honestly trying to do better than him, but do the same thing he did. He went to the University of Florida and some at Tampa Bay. So I'm just trying to do my family well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You said he played for Tampa Bay, like the pro team, the Buccaneers.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wow. Yeah, that's very, very cool. Definitely an athletic family. That's great. So kind of going off of that, do you have any role models within your family or anybody that you kind of look up to either in your family or outside of your family, like in pro football or college?
Probably my dad. Honestly, I look up to my dad a lot. He's been through some struggles. Half the reason why he wasn't able to make it to college. He's been through some things that I respect a lot of him. So, and then Ray Lewis is a big one for me. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a deep story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, do you play any other sports or do you have any hobbies outside of football?
Yes, sir. I played track, basketball, and baseball.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so you seem like you're pretty busy in terms of athletics. You definitely do a lot of things. Do you do anything outside of sports, or is it just kind of the sports that you do with it?
Oh, well, I work out a lot. I'm trying to get my size up. I'm kind of skinny. I need to fix that.
Yeah.
But I play instruments. I like music. Other than that, probably all.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very cool. And so, kind of tell me what a given week looks like in your world in terms of workouts and stuff like that. What do you kind of do?
I usually wake up at 6 a.m. Eat some eggs, some sausage, and then go to workouts in the morning. Not really workouts, but I stretch a little bit. And then I'll go to school, and then I'll go out through the day. We have workouts in class, sixth period, and then we have workouts after school. If it's a hard workout day like legs, I usually don't go to the gym. I usually stretch a little bit and loosen up a little bit. But then over the weekends, if like I'm not doing anything, I'll make sure to go to the gym.
Okay. All right. And tell me kind of specifically what you do in those workouts.
I've been doing a lot of power, high weight, low reps, trying to build muscle and strength.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very cool. And so, obviously, how do you balance kind of sports and the academic rigor of school? What do you kind of do to kind of manage your time and stuff like that?
Try to do the most I can within my class periods, and if I have any homework, I'll do it at school. Do it at home.
Oh, yeah. 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 Very, very cool. And so, obviously, kind of the second to last question here. You're from the Florida area. So it gets kind of hot over there, I can imagine. So how do you kind of try and beat out the heat and try and obviously in terms of competition, it's pretty big. Florida's the highest recruited state for college football and the pro level too. So kind of tell me about how you kind of deal with the competition over there, and then obviously how you deal with the weather over there, because those can be two very, very difficult and tough things at points.
For competition, I'd like to seek out the competition. When you seek it out, even if you work with people that are better than you, that makes you more competitive, makes you work harder, makes you better. So if you seek out the competition, then overall you'll become a better player. But the weather is really bipolar, I guess you could say here. Like you honestly have to kind of get lucky around here if it's gonna rain, if it's gonna storm. But really, you're not gonna get a time when it's not hot.
Yeah, I can imagine. Have you played games in like above 100 degrees at this point, or if you can remember?
Oh yes, sir. Actually, like about the whole spring football practice
Oh,
last
wow.
year, it was over 100.
That's crazy.
We also have a turf field, so that kind of made it pretty crazy.
Yeah, does your coach the dude must have done a lot of water breaks, I can imagine. That's nuts.
Oh, all the time, all the time.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. I can
Sometimes
imagine.
we would have to go inside for practices being too hot.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, it's there's a lot of kids from southern states that I've talked to on here. Florida's obviously one of those states that, you never know what they're going to say in terms of heat, because I can imagine it can get really hot over there. It's usually generally it's not just the heat, it's the humidity that can be a huge problem. But yeah, so that's really interesting, obviously. And then kind of one last final fun question here. If you were drafted by an NFL team, what would be your preferred team you'd want to get drafted by?
Honestly, any team that wants me. I wouldn't want to be picky. If you want me, I'll go to your school.
Yeah, yeah. But you got a favorite NFL team out there?
Right now it's the Browns. Just I don't know why, but I started liking them, and I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody I think right now loves Cleveland, just what they've accomplished this year. So,
They
yeah,
have accomplished a lot.
yeah. It's incredible. It's incredible. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Chason. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. You have a good one.
You too.
All right. Bye. Thanks. All right, everybody. That was Chason Clark out of Bradford High School in Florida. If that's to contact Chason, his Twitter account is at ChasonClark10, and I'll be sure to put his huddle link and information below as well. If you'd like to contact me, my Twitter account is at Emami Michael, and be sure to give the Instagram and Facebook follows and likes as well. They're both at The Hard Count with Michael Emami, and be sure to also subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. This has been The Hard Count. Do you have what it takes to go D1?